the things you got to deal with, you know? Set up the building, light the candles, give out the presents. Oy, such stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, my brain so addled this time of year. What with the census going on, people coming and going, the house being full, people wanting, fresh mattress. I am Thomas Ben Bodetta. I am the keeper of the inn in Bethlehem. Ben Bodetta, yeah. I keep a light on for you. Took you a bit to get that one, but it's good. She got the joke. Yes, you know my ancestor, Tom Bodette. He keeps light on too. Although I've noticed, never mind, I'm not going to talk about what color light it is. It's not easy being an innkeeper. There's a lot to do. And the stories I could tell you of the people who have come to my inn, the complainers, the whiners, those who tell me that they are so terribly sorry that they can't pay for the room I gave them. There are the transients. There are the young ladies who want their rooms on a temporary basis so they can entertain travelers as they pass through on their way to Jerusalem. It's not a good time to be an innkeeper. The Roman government has been oppressing us. Centurions killing innocent boys in the street and then claiming that the boys had weapons. And so they needed to kill them in order to defend themselves. I wish we could protest that kind of brutality, but we cannot. Because if we did, the Romans would slaughter us all. Oh, I'm not so naive. I know that there are also young thugs who seek to do nothing but cause trouble. In fact, it was just the other day that I read about two of the centurions, soldiers of Rome, seated on the side of the road, enjoying a light meal, when a man came up and plunged the sword into the back of each of them. It's a strange world we live in, when people exercise their right to free speech by marching through the streets and chanting, "What do we want? We want dead cops. When do we want it? We want it now." The man who allegedly killed the two policemen, I like how the mayor of Tel Aviv says, it was an alleged action. Mr. Mayor, the alleged bodies of the two alleged policemen are lying in your alleged morgue, and they are dead. If ever there was a time that we were waiting for Messiah to come, it would be now. For thousands of years we have prayed that God would do what he had promised and send the Messiah to us. It is written in the prophecies that when Messiah comes, he will reestablish the kingdom of David. David was our greatest king. And I believe in my heart that when Messiah comes, he will throw these Romans out and allow us to reestablish the nation of Israel once again. But it's been so long. And maybe we give up hope. And maybe we stop believing that Messiah is ever going to come to us, or that God is ever going to keep his word. Now, you yourselves, perhaps you have experienced the same feelings of despair, the same feelings of hopelessness? In getting ready to be with you this afternoon, I was talking with your pastor. He shared with me that there was a young boy. What do you call him? What do you, Tomas, what do you call the first year of a high school student? That's it, a freshman. Yeah, a freshman. At the school where the pastor teaches. 15 years old. And the young boy decided that was enough life for him. And so he committed suicide. 15 years old. My shoes are 15 years old. Yet this boy felt, for whatever reason, that he had no hope. And that he had no future. Pastor said that he did not know the boy personally, but yet he is very troubled that a young child would take such drastic action to terminate his life. He was also telling me that, like me, he too looks forward to the day when Messiah will return and will bring this evil world to a halt and take the believers in him to be with him forever in paradise. May the young boy be with him now, from my mouth to God's ears. No, I will not give up. I will not stop believing. I think there is hope for all of us. For it wasn't but a couple of days ago that something truly remarkable happened. Now let me back up a little bit. No, I don't mean when to stand back here. I mean, let me back up a couple of days. Augustus was the Caesar. He was the emperor in Rome. And he decided he wanted to count the noses. And so he called for a census. And all the Jews had to go to the city of their ancestors to be counted. Okay, Bethlehem, the house of bread. That's what Bethlehem means, by the way. House of bread. Was the home of King David. So there are lots of people who claim Bethlehem as their hometown. And it wasn't long at all before my inn was full to overflowing. My larder and my stock of supplies was running thin. But oh, the shekels that were being passed from one hand into mine. I'm becoming quite wealthy these last couple of weeks. And then along comes this young couple from Nazareth. You know, in the inn, you hear all these stories. And I have it on good authority. I saw the video on TMZ. That's Tel Aviv, musical Z. That this man and woman are living in an adulterous relationship. She is pregnant, and he is not the papa. Oh, he's claiming her as his wife, and they're going to be married soon. In your day, she would go to live in Wisconsin with a maiden aunt and come back in 9 months by herself. We don't do that in our civilized world. We just throw rocks at her till she's dead. And that's how we eliminate the shame from our culture. But they come to me. They want a room. And I will be a Samaritan if I will give them one of my rooms. They don't deserve it. They are not worthy. Those rooms that I have are for God-fearing Jews, not people who play fast and loose with their sexuality, bringing illegitimate children into the world, as if there isn't enough trouble as it is. Oh no, I was not going to give them a room. He wants to behave like an animal? I'll let him sleep with the animals. And so I sent the two of them out back, where in a cave dug into the hillside, I kept my livestock. The sheep, the asses, the pigs, and this couple. Seemed appropriate to me. What did I know? Putz that I am. And then the time comes when she's ready to deliver. I hear the sounds coming from the manger. I know she is giving birth, but I would not go back there. I would not soil my hands with the impurity of her sin. And I would not let my wife or children go back there to help her either. She made the baby, she can produce the baby on her own. But then the strangest thing. You see, in our part of the country, at that part of the year, the shepherds are out in the fields. Because in the cold weather, they come and keep the sheep in the pens close to town. But in the good weather, like we have now in August, we take them out into the high country, where they can sleep with the sheep overnight and lead them to pastures and still waters, much like David said in one of his Psalms. The next thing I know, there is a pounding on my door, wanting to know, where is the mother and the baby? I said, they're out back with the animals. And they say, oh, we need to save the baby because an angel has told us about him. An angel? Sure, yeah, right. Yeah, if I believe that, I let you have prime room for free. I've been told better stories than that, than people better than you. So I followed them to check it out for myself. And sure enough, there in the stall, on a pile of hay, wrapped in strips of cloth, was this baby. Such a beautiful baby it was, I got to say. Good-looking kid. Maybe grow up in Hollywood someday. And the angels apparently left messages that the shepherds were now relating to the mama and papa. Said that they were out there in the fields, and an angel appears to them and says, do not be afraid. I know you are feeling kind of chicken right now, but I bring you good news of great joy. For the Messiah has come. For to you has been born this day in the city of bread, the Savior, Messiah, the Lord. And here's how you will find him. You will find Mary and Joseph, and in the manger you will find the baby. And from what they said at that point, it must have been like a Hollywood exclusive, because they said the sky was filled with angels and everybody was singing. I imagine there were fireworks, and oh yeah, I wish I could have been there. So many snack packs I could have sold. I would have made a fortune. But apparently the angel directed them to my inn, to find the one who has been born King of the Jews, the one who is to be our rescuer. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a cynical man. I found it all very hard to believe. But there's something irresistible about that baby. Something equally astonishing about that story. Maybe this baby is the one to restore hope to a bruised and crushed nation. Maybe this baby will grow up to give hope to those who have none, to those who live in dysfunctional homes or suffer dysfunctional relationships. Maybe this baby will assure the people that God will care for them even when their finances are non-existent. For to you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, Messiah, the Lord. I wanted to change the name of my hotel. I wanted to put up billboards, Jesus slept here. I figured I could make lots of money that way. But somehow it just didn't seem right. So I decided I would do the next best thing. I would tell people what I had seen. I would tell them what I know. Now, I'll confess to you, I don't know the Bible verses. You people probably know what Isaiah says better than I do. But I know what I saw. I know what I experienced. And if this baby is the hope for the people of Israel, then I want him to be my Messiah too. I want him to give me hope. I want him to give me a reason to rejoice and to sing. So what about you? Do you have reason to rejoice and sing? Or do you have reason to mope with the jaw dragging on the ground when you walk? I know what I saw. I know what I experienced. And it is my prayer, Yahweh ben Israel, that you will experience it as well. I was told the appropriate thing to say at the end is Merry Christmas. I don't know what that means. Pastor said you would like that. I see several of you nodding, so it's kind of like, let's Derek Jeter, Merry Christmas, or something like that. Okay. I thank you for your time. At this point, you need to receive the offering while we play the next song. He left me notes on how to do this, although rumor has it he doesn't always push the right buttons. So if I screw it up here, I'm in good company.